Hey Pokemon fans, Real Mama Eagle here, also known as Key, and in this video I'll be talking about my ideal team in Generation 5, Pokemon Black, White, and Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. The opinions in this video are my own based off Pokemon I like to use and Pokemon I think fit the best together. Keep in mind I will not be using any competitive aspects in making my parties, in addition to 0 legendaries. Before we get into this, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know what your ideal Gen 5 team is below. Now let's get started. Picking a starter in Generation 5 is actually not that difficult, as Gen 5 is one of the starter groups that is not loved by the Pokemon community, understandably so, because we got another generation of fire and fighting, which some people didn't like, but I do think that Samurott and Superior are great Pokemon. I use both pretty equally, but I would say as far as the better choice, I would have to go with Superior out of the two. It's one of my favorite grass Pokemon in terms of pure design. I do love that elegant, ethereal, regal, snake-like appearance about it, and it's really neat. Superior is not the type of person that's going to overwhelm you with its moves, because grass Pokemon do have limited learn set, but one thing I like about using Superior is the fact that if I want to go and do on the protect route, where I whittle down the battle, poison, whittle it down, take away their HP, it's a great Pokemon to use. Not to mention, with the HM still in Gen 5, Superior is a Pokemon that can learn a variety of HMs, which helps you in the long run. I know that this Pokemon is very problematic. It's dragged ships down to the seafloor and may or may not have killed Pokemon and other Poke people, but I love Jellicent. I mainly prefer the male Jellicent sprite over the female Jellicent sprite, but both are amazing, and I use Jellicent in most of my Pokemon playthroughs. You do have to have access to water, obviously, to catch it, so you don't get it till later in the game, which does annoy me, but it's a Pokemon worth it. With that water and ghost move, can learn ice moves, can learn dark moves, and the fact that it's got that really cool water absorbability makes for a great Pokemon in battle, and a Pokemon that just has so much versatility, it's off the charts. Probably one of my favorite water Pokemon altogether, with a creepy backstory that I love, but it's a must use in every playthrough of Gen 5. In Generation 5, it's almost impossible to go through without getting an Eelektross. Now, looking for a Dynamo in Chargestone Cave does take a while, so you have to have incredible patience, and then leveling up a Dynamo is annoying because its stats are terrible. Luckily, in its next 2 evolutions, it gets so much better. Eelektross is probably one of the best electric Pokemon from a pure strategy standpoint and just overall ability, because it is electric Pokemon, which has Levitate. Electric's Pokemon's only weakness is ground. Levitate does not allow ground moves. It is essentially OP. And that is why it is great to have to this day, because in a pinch, that is a Pokemon that, unless it suffers a very big critical hit, is going to help you in addition to learning versatile moves, paralysis, and giving you a big advantage in battle. When I don't get the fire starter in Generation 5, I almost always catch a Litwick because I love Chandelure, one of my favorite Pokemon to date, combining 2 of my favorite types, fire and ghost. So I get my ghost typing and I also get my fire type that I didn't get with the starter. Very versatile, great learn set, great stats, great abilities, can definitely hang on in a tough battle, and a Pokemon that is almost always in my party in every playthrough. I do love Generation 5's Ghost a lot, so picking between them can be tough, but Chandelure is definitely my favorite. So because I have such a Ghost Pokemon obsession in Gen 5 with Jellicent and Chandelure, I need something in my party to pretty much counteract that, which is why when I can have access to it, I like to get a Meloetta in my party. This is a Pokemon that's hard to obtain unless there's an event, but I did stash some in Pokemon Bank and in some of my Pokemon Black save files, mainly in Pokemon Black and White too, but it's a Pokemon that's a must use. It's psychic and normal typing, which is amazing because it takes away that ability to be hit by a ghost move. So if I'm facing other ghost Pokemon that are trying to take out my Chandelure or my Jellicent, I can switch to Meloetta and eat that damage and have a great battle. Not to mention, Meloetta's got some great versatility. It has 2 forms, the first form being psychic and normal, the second form being its pirouette form, which is fighting and normal. So if I need to, I can switch into that fighting mode and use that fighting ability, and depending on what type of battle, what type of Pokemon I'm facing, but it comes in handy with learn sets and overall skill, and that's why it's one of my favorite Pokemon in this generation and just in general. One of my favorite all-time Pokemon is Zoroark, and in Gen 5, Zoroark is so hard to get, especially in Pokemon Black and White. You had to basically make an event, know a certain code in order to get it, or you missed out on getting your Zora. So in Black and White, I never got to have one, and I was always so jealous of people who did. But they corrected that wrong in Black and White White too, because they gave you in Zorua, which I was super happy about in Driftville City because I wanted one so badly. And it seems like in Gen 5 event Pokemon, the best ones are unavailable, go figure. But I finally got my Zoroark, but what I love about it is its ability. I naturally just love dark type Pokemon, but the fact that in addition to knowing its own dark type moves, it can also learn Dig, versatility with ground, and it can also learn Bounce, a flying move that causes paralysis. So it can be very versatile, also learning moves like Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, so having that Ghost in as well. Zoroark is a Pokemon with a really cool ability, with great moves, and to this day, I still get tricked by its illusion. So to run it back, my ideal Generation 5 team is Superior, Jellicent, Zoroark, Chandelure, Cobalion, and Electros. Let me know what Pokemon you would keep or swap out, and let me know your ideal Gen 5 team in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, and ding that bell so you know when videos are up. I'm also Real Mama Eagle on all social media platforms, and I do live streams at twitch.tv/RealMamaEagle. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.